What's up, everybody? Welcome in. Today we're going to be taking a look at He-Man and the Masters of the Universe cartoon collection, Prince Adam and Cringer. Really cool set. This is the cartoon collection, so it's modeled after that 80s Filmation cartoon. It says here on the front, Prince Adam, heroic secret identity of He-Man, and Cringer, heroic secret identity of Battle Cat. So it looks like we've got an additional head for both of these characters. I'll go ahead and try to get a good picture of this top and zoom in on that so you can see the artwork. It's really cool looking. I like the way they've got them laid back. It's a nice looking waterfall going on. We've got Skeletor, Triclops, and Evelyn kind of spying on them here in the background. Pretty interesting there. We're going to go ahead and turn it around to the side of the box. That way we can get a good look at that. Alright, so we just got a little fella here on the side. It just says Prince Adam and Cringer. Same thing, just Prince Adam and Cringer on the other side, but we do have Hordak's little imp here hiding out in a little floral thing, also spying on Prince Adam and Cringer. And then here we have the most incredible piece of artwork. We've got Prince Adam standing on the drawbridge. We've got Cringer in the background. We've got Zor flying here over the peak of the tower. Beautiful Castle Grayskull in the back. Lightning effect. Really cool picture back here. We don't have any blurbs or any extra stuff. Just this really nice photo. Mine did get dinged up down here in the bottom, but they were all kind of busted in one way or the other. This box did have the least amount of damage out of all of the boxes that I saw. So this is the one that I grabbed because I did like this artwork on the back. And I kind of thinking about putting it in a frame or something. I like it so much. So we'll see. You may see it hanging on the wall in the background here in the near future. Now let's go ahead and get him pulled out of the box. Take a closer look at everything we got on the inside. And go from there. Alright, so here we got Prince Adam and Cringer pulled out of the box. Kind of got them displayed up a little bit, how they were on the back of the box. As you can see, he did come with a power sword. It's a really metallic kind of silver plastic, and we'll take a closer look at that in just a second. I did switch the heads just so it matched the back of the postcard, or the back of the card back on the box there. So this is the head that came on Cringer. So really nice looking sculpt. He does have a little bit of yellow to the eyes. Not as much as like what would be his yellow hair, but there is a slight tint of yellow in the eyes. And then he does have the one little snaggle tooth hanging out there. And then, oops, I dropped it. And then as you saw on the box, Prince Adam also came with an additional face, or additional head sculpt. So we do have the laughing version of Prince Adam here. His eyes are pinched closed, kind of squinting, and he's got a nice smirk on his face. I actually might use this head on him. I haven't decided yet which head to go with, but I definitely like this one. I think it fits well for Prince Adam, so who knows? Who knows what we'll end up doing? But this is what we got so far. Let's go ahead and get his arms sitting down here, and I will get this power sword out just so you can see it a little better. Alright, so here's a closer look at that power sword, and as you can see, it is kind of metallic, metal-y looking. Very reminiscent of the 80s cartoon. So really cool. Glad that that came with him. Awesome accessory. I haven't seen anywhere to put it on him yet. I don't know if it'll slide in the back of his tunic here or not. That's something that we're going to check out probably in just a little bit when we go over his articulation, but I did want to show you the sword. As far as Cringer goes, he is really cool. He's got a lot of points of articulation. The head will turn all the way back and forth, left and right, as you can see here. Can look both ways. This head sculpt does have a jaw that can open and close, so you can get a couple different expressions with Cringer there when you open his mouth and close it. So that's really cool as well. Get a good look at that head sculpt. It's a really nice one. So then it has that ball joint, but then it has another joint here, so it can rotate even more there. So you've got 2 points of articulation here. Really allows you to pose that head up in different ways. And then the arms will go up and down like this. There is a ball or a joint here at the elbow as well as in the foot. He does have a diaphragm type cut here, so he can go back and forth and up and down depending how you want to pose him that way. His rear legs also will move up and down. They have a joint here at what would be the first knee, so he actually can get pretty tall if you straighten his legs out. And then this one also will bend up and down here. So we can get all kinds of posing with this Cringer. Really cool. And then the tail also will spin all the way around, and you can put it up and down. Waggle it however you choose. So really cool figure. I really like this Cringer. Been waiting a long time to get something like this. We have a lot of Battle Cats, but we don't have too many Cringers, at least not that I would technically classify as a cool Cringer. So glad to have this guy. Now let's go ahead and take a closer look at He-Man, or Prince Adam, I guess. Alright, so the whole time He-Man's not busy being He-Man, he spends his leisurely time as Prince Adam, or his alter ego, which I'm sure if you're watching this video, you already know that. So we're going to compare him with the first Prince Adam that came out. It came with the Wind Raider pack. I'm not talking vintage, I'm talking origins. It came out with the Wind Raider, I believe, pack. So it was a pretty cool Prince Adam as well, especially for what we got at the time, just to be able to have a Prince Adam. But I wasn't the biggest fan of the head sculpt on that one, so I do feel like this cartoon version is an improvement on that. And other than the vintage head, I think this is my favorite head for the He-Man characters that we've got so far, out of the Origins line, including Cartoon Collection as well as the other versions. So before we compare the two characters together, we're going to go ahead and go over some articulation with Prince Adam here. So as you know, his head is removable, and we'll take that off and switch it to the smirking face here in a little bit, but it can look to the left, it can look to the right, it will spin all the way around. He can look down pretty far, and he can look up pretty well. He can rotate his arm all the way around. The arms are also removable, they can come right out of the socket. It can come all the way up and all the way down. So we've got a really good range of motion there. He does have a range of motion on his elbow that allows it to spin all the way around, as well as flex up to almost a 90-degree bend here. We do have rotation in the wrist that spins all the way around, and then there is a pivot joint on Prince Adam, so you can bend his wrist so you can get him in the good power sword, raising power sword position, because you do need to bend his wrist down a bit to get that to look right. It's going to be the same thing on the other side here. As far as his waist, he will come apart at the waist, but it does spin all the way around. Looks like his shirt's coming undone a little bit there. He can do the splits out to about there, so pretty good articulation as far as that goes. Then we do have single jointed knees. Ooh, this one's pretty stiff on this side. There it goes. Which allows you about a 90-degree bend, give or take just a little bit. We do have a cut at the boot that allows the boot to swivel all the way around. And then we have the nice ankle cut, so you can point the toe down, up, as well as rotate it all the way around. So I'm going to go ahead and get Prince Adam set up down here. We'll just lean him against the wall for a second. I'm going to pull in the first Prince Adam just so we can kind of compare them together and go over our thoughts of the new one. Alright, so just from looking right here, you can see a huge difference. The new cartoon version is taller. He's taller than the old version. His boots are taller, so this part of the boot is longer. I'm not sure if the foot is any bigger, but the lower or upper portion of the boot, lower portion of the calf is bigger on this He-Man. Then we have the legs, definitely more muscle tone in the cartoon collection than the original style. More of the light pink on the cartoon collection tunic versus the super bright pink over here on the original Origins version. The pants appear to be a little darker purple on the new version, and they are a little more pale on this version. The white under tunic, undershirt, appears to be about the same color on both of them. However, you'll notice his gauntlet here is smooth, and then he does have the standard He-Man wrist bracer on that side. So that's a couple differences as far as their overall original look. You can also tell what I was saying about the articulation in the wrist. He has a much more natural pose. This one has a much more natural pose than this guy over here does. He does not have the movement in his wrist to get him to bend it down and be able to appropriately hold that power sword above his head and look at it. And also the hand on this one over here is a little bit different. It is the original style, where this hand I feel like works way better for holding the sword up in the sky. So out of these two together, I'm definitely giving it to the new Prince Adam. I think he hands down is better than the first version that we got from Origins. So we've went ahead and switched up heads, and we've alternated his arms down to the next step in the transformation pose. So he works really well like this. I just wanted to show you that if you wanted to pose him this way, he also works this way very well with that open left hand, and the wrist does articulate and allow you to bend it right into perfect position for this. But now let's go ahead and just ignore his arms for a little bit. I'm actually going to pull the sword out of his hand. He has a really good grip on that one. Get his arm bent back around here. And what I want to do is take a look at this new version of the laughing He-Man face. I think they did a really good job on that. Skin tone matches really well. Perfect Prince Adam. This is exactly what I'm looking for in a Prince Adam. I know a lot of people were excited about getting the Cringer, and I was excited about the Cringer as well, but I really wanted a Prince Adam that just worked better. I was not a fan of the face on the other Prince Adam. This one here, let me get his sword down just so you can kind of compare them. I'm just not the biggest fan of the face on that Prince Adam there. So you can kind of see a difference there between the two. We'll go ahead and pull him back off screen. And yeah, so that's a good look at this head here. And I'm going to go ahead and switch it to the other head, and then we'll be right back. And probably the last thing to go over with this Prince Adam would just simply be removing his tunic, because that's pretty much the only thing left to do. So it is fastened here. It just pulls apart, and as you can see, there's a piece here that will buckle in to that little slot there, and then this little button will fit into the other side of that yellow dot. So you just pull that apart. So we're going to need to take his arms off, at least one of his arms, and then you can pull that around. Let's get it off this side. And then his arm will just snap right back into place. And now you have what looks like most vintage Prince Adams that you find, if you ever find a vintage Prince Adam out and about. He's almost always missing that maroon tunic that the original vintage came with. They did a really good job on this guy though. Super happy to replace that old Prince Adam with this one. We'll probably still use that one for something. Maybe I'll use one of these heads on this one, and since the main problem with the other one was the head, maybe I'll take this head and stick it on there. Just so I have two heads that I like on my Prince Adam. So there he is without his tunic. As you can tell, if you haven't seen any of these cartoon collection ones yet, really overdoing it with the muscles here, really big beefy legs. I really like these cartoon collection figures. I think that personally I like them a little better than the standard Origins characters so far, at least some of the figures that I'm seeing. They're really hitting home for me, and I really like what Mattel's doing with these guys. So there he is, Prince Adam. Final thoughts, 2 thumbs up on this guy. Probably one of my favorites to come out of the cartoon collection so far was this set. And since it is a set, we will definitely bring Battle Cat back in here, because I know he's a huge part of this set just as important as Prince Adam. I'm just ecstatic with the head sculpt that they gave us with this guy. I know it's the same as the cartoon collection He-Man, but I'm just happy to have another version of Prince Adam. The skin, as I did try it, the skin is a little darker on the He-Man version, and it didn't match so well with my other Origins Prince Adam when I went to try that out. So I'm just happy to have a slightly paler version of that head sculpt, and it matches this body so well. We have the awesome Cringer to go with it. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to tell someone you love them. Have a blessed day. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notifications on so you stay up to date on all the future videos. This is still the temporary setup. I am still working on getting the main studio area set up for filming, but bear with me for just a little while longer. I promise you, we're getting there. See you next time.